Our May legislative meeting here in Sharon Borough. At this time, we'll call the meeting to order at 7:03 p.m. And if we could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, just leave your Bible on.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah.
Madam Borough Manager, may we have a roll call, please?
Yes, Madam President. President Allen.
Present.
Vice President Hill.
Present.
Councilor Bravo.
Present.
Councilor Felder.
Present.
Councilor Fleming.
Present.
Councilor Patrick.
Present.
Councilor Smith.
Present.
Mayor Booker.
Present.
Solicitor Miller.
Present.
Treasurer Morgan.
Present.
Engineer Lynch.
Present.
Code Officer Collins is absent. Voting Code Official Tartaglia. Excused. Interim Chief Johnson.
Present.
Borough Manager is present. Madam President, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Okay. Again, thank you all for being here with us this evening. We have a couple of items of presentation at the beginning of our agenda. I will begin with a solemn presentation that our Borough Council would like to present to our fellow colleague, Dr. Tammy Fleming, who lost her father last month. We have a resolution in memory of Mr. Robert Edward Pollard, beloved father of Counselor Dr. Tammy Fleming. Whereas Mr. Robert Edward Pollard, beloved father of Counselor Dr. Tammy Fleming, who herself is a dedicated counselor of the Sharon Borough Council, demonstrating unwavering commitment to the community she serves. And whereas her father, Mr. Robert Edward Pollard, proudly served his country in the United States Navy and continued his service in the Naval Reserve and was awarded the National Defense Service Medal during his military service. And whereas Mr. Robert Edward Pollard also understood the value of being hardworking, dependable man, and demonstrated an extraordinary level of discipline and commitment to his family, and was an avid student of the Bible, finding strength, guidance, and purpose in God's word throughout his life, and will be missed. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Sharon Hill Borough Council extends its deepest condolences to the family of Mr. Robert Pollard and recognizes his service to the United States military. Sincerely, myself, Tanya Allen, and Mayor Edward Booker, and Sharon Hill Borough Council. Councilor Fleming, you have our deepest sympathies, and we'd like to present you with this resolution on the loss of your dad. If it's okay, if we just take just a moment of silence for Dr. Fleming and her family. Thank you. We'd like to continue on our presentations at this time with the swearing in of our interim police chief, Sharon Johnson. Mayor Booker, Chief Johnson, here you are, in your other blues.
Like that suit? Good evening. He's coming in sharp today.
I would like to say that we asked Chief Johnson if he wanted to do his swearing in last week, and he said he would not do it without his wife being here and his family. So welcome. Thank you for being here, to you and your whole family. Hi.
So I'm happy here. For allowing us to have your honor of us. I. Hello?
Is it green? It should be green.
No. Look at the gel. I have a loud voice. It carries.
Hello. Greetings, everyone. And thank you for being here. It means a lot.
I,
Sharon Johnson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will
support,
obey,
obey,
and defend
and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the Commonwealth
of the Commonwealth
of Pennsylvania.
of Pennsylvania.
I further swear
I further swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
honestly,
honestly,
and impartially
and impartially
discharge
discharge
the duties
the duties
of Interim Chief
of Interim Chief
of Police
of Police
for the Borough of Sharon Hill,
for the Borough of Sharon Hill,
Delaware County,
Delaware County,
Pennsylvania,
Pennsylvania,
with integrity,
with integrity,
professionalism,
professionalism,
and respect
and respect
for the rights,
for the rights,
safety,
safety,
and dignity
and dignity
of all people.
of all people.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello. Does anyone have anything they'd like to say in particular for Chief Johnson?
Yeah.
Me? Well, look, let me say it so that everyone knows. It is an honor to have time to talk with Chief Johnson. The ideas, the presence, his dedication and commitment to finding ways throughout this community to embrace it, to embrace his colleagues and let them know how much they care and how much they mean to the community. He's always trying to find a way to make sure you guys are safe and make sure the community is safe. We've had multiple conversations of appreciation. And the one thing I want you guys to know is, I'm glad your beards are looking sharp. We didn't talk about this. Sharp beards are nothing. You don't want to hear, no excuses. All right? But yeah, Chief Johnson, I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
You're an honor, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Chief Johnson, I would like to thank you for stepping in. You understand that this role is a very important role, and speaking with you on that day, you know what day I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
Very honest, very straightforward, and he just asked us to give him grace and time to make things smoother. And he had ideas. He came to the table with ideas, proactive ideas, and that's all we ask for in this borough. And I'm sure every borough and township asks for the same thing from their leader. Listen, he's been here since 2010. It's 2026. What that tells you all is that he's committed. So I want to thank you for the time, with us, and I can't wait to see what happens in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you guys for this opportunity.
You're welcome.
Sure did.
Okay, next item that we have on our agenda is a special recognition that we'd like to give for Military Appreciation Month. So May is, in fact, Military Appreciation Month. And this year, we have a proclamation. Proclamation of the Borough of Sharon Hill. Whereas the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness enumerated in our Declaration of Independence, codified by the Constitution and Bill of Rights, and guaranteed to every citizen of the United States are safeguarded by the dedication of the members of the United States Armed Forces. And whereas the sacrifices made by all members of the United States Armed Forces and their loved ones are to be valued, the brave men and women of our community who have served, ready to defend our homeland and protect the freedom and values for which we stand, deserve our recognition. And whereas Sharon Hill natives and residents have a proud history of service in the United States Armed Forces in both times of peace and war, and we're proud to honor our active service members, veteran heroes on the home front, wounded warriors and their families as integral members of our community. And whereas Sharon Hill Borough Council member James A. Patrick has a proud history of service in the United States Coast Guard, and Council member William Felder has a proud history of service in the United States Air Force, and Councilwoman Deirdre Brabham has a proud history of service in the United States Army. Sharon Hill Borough joins the rest of our nation in honoring National Military Appreciation Month as we pay tribute to all military families and veterans in our community as we remain committed to translating our gratitude into sustainable social and civic support. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Sharon Hill Borough Council does hereby dedicate this commemoration of May 2026 for National Military Appreciation Month as a symbol of unity to recognize, honor, and support the commitment and sacrifice of current, former, and fallen members of all branches of the United States Armed Forces and their families for their tremendous contributions. Adopted this 21st day of May 2026. We thank you to all of our military families, and at this time, especially to our council members who have served in the United States Armed Forces. Thank you all for your service. And we have one more presentation that I want to push to the top of the agenda.
Thank you all for coming and swearing in. I appreciate you guys. And have a good night. A good night. Except for Mike. You got it, Mike. Thank you, guys.
I would like to ask Councilors Brabham, Felder, and Patrick if you have any remarks regarding Military Appreciation Month.
Somebody sits in your seat.
I have a few remarks I'd like to share with the council. This is a pleasant surprise. In a nutshell, when I went to the military, I had went in after finishing high school when I was 17. And it basically saved my life. It gave me an opportunity to be in an environment that was structured, and I would be held to accountability and standards. And for the balance of my life, I was able to be successful. So I encourage young people to consider the military as an opportunity to get access to resources. So to be specific, when I was in the military, come out of boot camp, you get access to credit, get access to housing, get access to education, and it puts you in a position where you can leapfrog a few years ahead and start your life off. And I have been prosperous ever since. And in retrospect, I do it again.
Thank you, Councilor Patrick.
I would like to say that my time served, like Councilman Patrick, I went in directly after high school, but mine wasn't. Mine was more so to be defiant than it was to just join because I wanted to. I was in a battle with my mother, and I decided, well, this was one place she couldn't touch me. Okay, and I should have known something was up when she said, "Really? That's wonderful." And I knew, oh gosh, what have I done now? But I was very shy, and I know y'all don't believe me, but I was a very shy and quiet person, and just very close to myself. And going in the military taught me how to stand up for myself, to stand up for others, to be seen when I needed to be seen, and also not be seen when I didn't need to be seen. So I'm very thankful for learning the confidence and self-assurance, and firmly believing. My mom always told me that I could do whatever I put my mind to. But, she was my mom. Of course she's going to say that. But I learned in the military that I really could do whatever I wanted to if I put my mind to it. So please understand, when I put my mind to it, I went into the military police corps, which was not set up for women. They were letting us in because that's what they had to do, but they were not prepared for us at all. So it was truly an experience. I learned how to I trained right beside my male counterparts, and I learned how to work with everyone, and how to deal with people on all levels and all walks of life. And for my military experience, I am truly thankful, and it has truly been a solid foundation for me throughout all my work experience years and my home life years. Okay, because I had 2 boys to raise, and I ended up raising them on my own, and I kept them straight.
That's right.
And so I am thankful.
"20 years in the Air Force. It was easy because I didn't know I had it in me. Most places I go, I don't know why I get leadership. I was a leader in the Air Force where they basically bamboozled me into taking charge of a complete dorm of about 200 or so recruits. I had to march into school every day. They were going to give me a Article 15 because I didn't show up for an assignment. Well, I looked on the board and I seen my name and my social security number. So I went to that assignment. But they had me signed up at the same time for 2 other assignments, meaning I had 3. I was called into the STA's office, and he looked at me, he said, "You missed your duty." I'm sitting in one, and he tells me, "Where were you?" So I told him I was in my duty station. He said, "No, you wasn't." Well, he said, "We might have to send you home." I'm looking at him, I'm saying like, wow. So I'm telling you this because this is the mindset. He winds up telling me, "We're going to write you up. We're going to send back to your headquarters, let them know that you was negligent and reporting for your duty." But then this female came out, seen me in the hall area, and I'm baffled. She said, "They playing a head game on you because they see your leadership qualities." And I said, "What?" Well, lo and behold, I had to go to a class Saturday morning to get out of the punishment and take leadership. I became a green rope, then I became a yellow rope, then I became a red rope, which is the top leadership in the Air Force for the student population. The class that graduated before us, they passed the baton. They passed the baton and called me out. No experience. I didn't know how to call nothing. Left, right, left. They called me out and said, "Your assignment for tomorrow, you have to march the flight to school." I didn't even know. I'm just getting there. I didn't even know my way to school. Pouring down, raining in Texas. Pitch black in the morning, 5 o'clock. I had to march. And I had to march into school, sometime marching from school, marched them past a parade with officers, generals, and we had to do a certain kind of salute when we went past the parade where the officers sat. I had no training and all that. They gave me a quick briefing, and that was it. One thing I learned in the military, you have to be sharp. Because if you don't, you get washed out. You will get washed out. And they're quick to do it because they say somebody else is waiting. So it keeps you on your toes. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I didn't go in after high school because it allowed me the time to reflect a little bit because it wasn't military on my mind. And all of my friends got sent to the Vietnam War because their numbers was low. My number was low, very low. But because I had academic prowess, they sent me into college. That saved me from Vietnam. But after I got out, a friend of mine talked me into going into the Air Force, and that's what I did. So it wasn't a waste. It was a great experience. You learn a lot. And I think my searching for manhood, those are places you can find it. Thank you.
Thank you again, counselors, for your service. And to all of our members of our Sharon Hill community that have served in the armed forces, we thank you as well for your service. Okay, we'll move right along at this time into our committee updates, and we'll start with the library. Ms. Ashby.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Thank you to the council people who spoke about their military experience. That was absolutely amazing and wonderful. And thank you for your service. Although I never served in the military, but I did do 5 years in the Boy Scouts, which is kind of hard for me. Okay, let's get serious. So this month, my report's going to be really short, but I want to make it factual to explain what the library is doing and how we're doing it. So first off, you have my report with the numbers, and that's all good. But numbers can fool people. I want to give you actuality of what we're doing at the library with the help of the borough. So, I have to get people first. Oh. So we are partnering with an organization called My Work Program. It's a paid summer work experience. It's to empower youth with disabilities. And so if you ever went to the stores and you've seen citizens with disabilities and they're doing work in the stores or at some building, and they have somebody there helping them, well, that's what the library will be doing this summer. We have 4 interns, and we have their counselors with them, and they'll be in the library straightening out books, helping serve the summer meal programs, and helping out around the library. And that's really great for them. And so our workforce development people are going to be the ones working with this group of citizens in the library. And the reason we did that is because we held a meeting. We held a meeting in the library, and we talked about the library and the workforce development. And the people in the workforce development are usually it's usually hard for them to find employment. But the library gave them employment. And so they're going to give back. They're going to give forward. And they're going to assist each library employee from the workforce development will be assigned to a citizen with disabilities to help them navigate their way through the library. We're going to pay forward. And then we have another young man from a similar program. He's going to do intern work at the library, 500 hours, and he will be taking care of our IT needs. In addition to taking care of our IT needs, we're going to teach him how to work in the library. And so what I explained to him is sometimes we have to create positions. So if I teach you how to work in a library and you go to another library for a job and you start showing your IT experiences, you may create a position for you in that library. And so it's not always what's put out there, a job and everything, it's what you can create for yourself. And so that's what we're doing. And another one we have, that's the second one, and then we have, we received a $2,000, we received a $2,000 grant, but because the way I had written the grant, they gave us an additional $500 for the grant, and that's for programming. Then we received the $9,000 grant, and with the super help of Borough manager, we'll be able to use that money for staffing. We had to rewrite the purpose of the grant, and I rewrote the purpose. They accepted it. Borough manager signed all these papers and fixed everything that was not right, and now we're getting that grant, and we'll be able to use it for programming. And finally, today we just received the grant for $200 for the summer reading program. So our goal is not to always keep coming to the borough for money, but to also bring something to the table, bring programming, bring grants, and bring excitement, and bring inclusivity to the community. And so that's why we have the young people with disabilities, that's why we have the workforce development, that's why we have interns, and that's what we want to make the library truly a hub of the community. Thank you.
Mr. Ashby, why you? No.
Read the 12.
Check my one, too. Check my
Mr. Ashby.
No, that's Joy with something. She put a reverb. Yeah.
I'm just trying to use my outside voice. When you talked about workforce development in the youth, did you include the DCIE?
Yes, that's the man that's going to be the intern, the IT. And thank you, Borough Council Allen, set that up for us. And thank you so much. So let me tell you, so when the young man came in for an interview, he was super nervous, but his presentation was so wonderful. His pants was up, he had a shirt on, he was very neat, and I always said to young people, when I ask them questions to see how they're gonna answer. When they answer, yeah, red flag. So I asked the young man questions, yes, sir, no, sir. And so when he sat down, he was shaking. So I said, okay, let's make this real easy. This is a job interview, right? He said, yes. I said, you have the job, relax. And he was like, oh, wow. I said, your whole presentation got you the job. And so he really appreciated it. He's so excited. And so you have to encourage these young people. You have to give them a chance to be who they are. And I just thank you for this young man because he is absolutely wonderful.
That's great to hear. And did you just say that he's from Sharon Hill? He is from Sharon Hill Borough. So it's really nice to be able to do this for a young person in one of our own. And I'm very happy. And the connection came by way of a resident of Sharon Hill Borough who needs the program with DCIU. So it's really nice when we can help our own have.
And just to add to what you're saying, so I was on a Zoom call this morning, and they were talking about workforce development and everything. And I was multitasking, so I wasn't paying attention. And then a lady was sitting in the library, and she said, hey, I was just on a Zoom call with you. And I'm like, really? And she said, they were talking about how wonderful Sharon Hill was. You didn't hear them? No. And she said, well, I want to bring this program to the library with the disability challenge, with the citizens with challenges. And so I said, wow. And she said, you know what? When you walked out the room, I was like, I look like the guy. I look like the guy. So everything happens for a reason, and everything happens good for Sharon Hill. And I'm just so happy to be here with Sharon Hill. Thank you once again.
We're happy to have you.
You try again now, let Joyce back. Councilor Hill, can you turn your mic off?
Oh.
Okay. Okay, well, let's see what happens. It's Joy. Okay, no, it's better. I don't know if it's better.
DJ Cali.
Another one. Okay, let's. I'm gonna turn this off. We'll continue through the agenda and go to my report. I will share Chester Pike Corridor Improvement Partners. We are finally here on May 30th. We will be having Bike the Pike, and we are really excited about rolling this out in Sharon Hill. We have a lot of cute giveaways, so this is one. It's actually a stress ball that looks like a helmet, and it's branded for Chester Pike Corridor Improvement Partners and America 250 Delco, which was one of our partners that we got a grant from. We will do a community giveaway. We have helmets, free helmets to give out for adults and children. So I think I've said it in here before, but we have a lot of kids riding bikes, and they're not wearing helmets. So if you see them, please ask them to come over. Ask their parents, take a flyer. We'll be at Memorial Park, 9:30 on Saturday, May 30th. We're gonna do a ribbon cutting. We have elected officials from across the county coming to be a part of this occasion with us. And then at 10, we will ride out from Sharon Hill to Ridley Park, and we'll come back. The ride will be safe. Our very own Sharon Hill Police Department is leading the charge of coordinating the safety route between all of the municipalities that we'll be crossing through. So our intersections are gonna be covered, and we have ride leaders that'll be at the front, back, middle to make sure everybody's okay. So ride ambassadors. So please come out. I know a couple of members of council getting their bikes ready and tuned up and gonna ride. So it'll be a great day. We are really excited to launch this. And I'm mostly excited and proud that we're gonna do it from Sharon Hill Borough. So hope to see all of you there for Chester Pike Corridor Improvement Partners Bike the Pike launch on the 30th. I wanted to share, actually, I'll wait for old business for that. And I have some resources here. Our very own beloved Dr. Strauss opened another resource center today in Chester. And I did stop by, he invited me to stop by, and I was able to collect these resources that are, this is a resource guide to homeless services. It tells them where there are emergency shelters, housing support programs, behavioral health services, all the kind of services, prepared food and meals that anyone can need at any time of crisis or just at a time that they are down. So I am going to make these available in the office. If anybody needs them for yourself or anybody you know is having a hard time, please come take a look and get these resources. I'll see if there's a digital version that I can upload. But Dr. Strauss does a lot of great work, not only in Sharon Hill and other places in the county. And he does love Sharon Hill very much. He says it every time he gets a chance. And so more to come from Dr. Strauss for Sharon Hill Borough, but in the interim, I want to share those resources that I got from his place today. And that's all that I have right now. The rest I'll share under old business. Are there any questions for me? All right, thank you very much. VP Hill?
Yes. Hello, everyone. So, for upcoming events, the first thing I would like to share is our Juneteenth event that's going to be coming up on Saturday, June 20th from 12 to 3 p.m. We're going to have guest speakers. We're going to have a poem read by Sharon Booker. We're going to have food. We're going to bounce you off out for the new ones. And it's going to be fun. We're going to have music. And we want to, block the street off here. So we would love for everybody to, arrive on time because the whole ceremony is going to be no more than maybe 50 minutes, right? And it's going to be great. Like we're going to give out a community service award we want to honor Lago's Grill. If any of you, passed there or went there, they have done a lot of community service in Sharon Hill. Even when their business was not doing too well, I mean, they're starting to pick up. But I'm talking about like feeding, over 2,000 kids, like and families, like in the community. So we would like to, recognize that. And also too, I would say anybody that's living in the community that's doing anything, like any good deed without, any support or anything like that, please let council know, so that way we can recognize people in our own community that are doing, doing some good, non-profit, for-profit, whatever it is. So we ask that our community, the office, call and speak to Ms. Ruby, leave that information, so this way we can, look into it and see how we can help support people in the community. Also, we also have coming up is Jalen during summer basketball skills and drills clinic. It's a camp as well, and that's going to start July 19th. So it's going to be Sunday, July 19th, Sunday, July 26th, Sunday, August 2nd, Sunday, August 9th, which is my birthday. By the way. That's right. And August 16th, Sunday, August 16th, and then the last day will be Saturday, August 22nd, and that's Jalen's day, where we we have a big carnival and a lot of things for the community. If some of you have attended, Jalen's Day, is a really family festive event. If you want to, impress people about what your community is doing, you can always invite them to that. We're also looking for volunteers to help out. We have a lot of great young people who come to this camp, and it's not only from Sharon Hill. That's what I love about it. They're from all over. We're going to be having mailers going out soon. That's going to be not only being, delivered, to residents in Sharon Hill, but we're going to, do it all over in different townships and boroughs. And then, lastly, can I have Chief Bourgeois come up, please? Give it up for Chief, y'all. So Chief, the One Touchables Foundation have something for the Sharon Hill Fire Company. We recognize everything that y'all do in the community. This is just to show a little support of our appreciation. We do know that, it's hard to have volunteers come in and give a volunteer service. We understand. This starts the initiative of the community supporting the fire company, all right? And also, too, I would like to say to our community, it's okay to knock on doors and ask to support our fire company. It's okay to go to the fire company and say, oh, look, let's stand out on Chester Pike and let's collect some funds, because that's what we did. And this was my commitment when Councilman Felder took over as the liaison. I spoke to Councilman Felder and I spoke to council. We all knew about this, and this is my way of, and our way of saying, like, we in for the support. So from this day forth, this is what we're going to be doing. We can raise $2 million. This is what we're going to do, brother. This is just a start. So you can open this up. This is for our fire. Come on, y'all. Come on. Give them a I promise you it won't bounce. All right? So I just want to say to Sharon Hill Borough again, if you're looking on Facebook and everybody's talking on Facebook, let's band together to make sure that we support our fire company, we support our police department, we support Sharon Hill and everything that's happening in the borough. All right? Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
Can you guys, let me take one photo, but just come from around that podium if you don't mind. So every time I take a picture of the chief, he poses like an Avenger. Real life superhero.
So the other thing too, right, that I want to talk about in reference to our fire company is myself and Madam President, we've been talking about this. It's going to, we're still working it out. We're still passion for it. We want to get with our borough manager. She doesn't know this yet, but we've been talking about having a fireman's ball. And, we have that beautiful park over there, what is Weederwax Park. And we just been talking about all these great ideas, like in terms of like fundraising, like honoring another honoring another fire engine, and having them, get buy tables and just do a real fundraiser. Have our firefighters, dress up in nice suits, like, black tie affair, and have tables up, have music, have all these things, and then we lead it off, and then the next year another fire engine hosts it, and it's going to make out for a great day. I have a gentleman, a best friend that lives in Arizona. He does it all the time, and he said it really works because. And the reason why me and Madam President was talking about this is because when we read our report for our fire engine, they help out everybody. They go from town to town. Like I think Callendale is like they go there all the time. You know what I'm saying? So we want that support coming back. And I think having a fireman's ball, and having our volunteer firefighters involved is going to make out for a great day. All right, but we'll talk more about it. I did talk to you a little bit about it, Chief. All right, but thank you, and thank the fire engine for everything y'all do in the community. All right, thank you.
Thank you, VP Hill. Does anyone have any questions for VP Hill?
I just want to say that's outstanding, man. I am so proud of you guys doing this. Oh, I love the reverb. I'm feeling the vibe. The energy level is so high. Let's go. It's beautiful, beautiful time. It's a wonderful time to live in. That's right. Don't take that away from me.
Whatever you did before this, it didn't always have a reverb to whatever happened after that.
I think.
Oh no! Don't take away.
You got that hot fire. Oh, the fire is gone. It's okay. It's all right. See the fire coming. There you go, Chief. It's that hot fire for you. There you go.
Thank you, VP Hill, for all you do.
You're welcome.
Okay, we can move right along, and Councilor Bradham, check.
Good evening, everyone, residents, council. I don't think it's fair that I don't get to play with the reverb, but it's all right. Thank you all for coming out this evening. I just wanted to tell you about, we just recently had a sisterhood celebration where we put out a spread for the women of Sharon Hill. As I stated before, we're always celebrating women, all over the world, all over the country, and we have a tendency to forget our local women and what they do for our community. So we had a celebration on Saturday, and I thank everyone that came out. We had a great time, and what we actually did, we served a very nice, elegant tea, the cloth napkins, silverware, the whole 9 yards. And we just basically had open discussion about different things that were going on and things that they would like to see. So it was a very nice event. Our next event coming up is the June 6th flea market. So please, we're looking for vendors. We're looking for those of you to come out and shop. We always have very unique vendors. A lot of the vendors who come to our flea markets are crafters, and they're creating their own items, or so they're coming out, and we would love for everyone to come out and support them. And The only other thing that I need to talk about is the change of the SHAC meeting. Our meetings are normally June 1st, on the first Monday of the month. This June's meeting comes on June 1st. So we would not be available for that date. So the meeting for SHAC will be June 8th at 6 p.m. Borough Hall, 250 Sharon Avenue, 2nd floor. Also, please take a look at the website. The flyer is up and posted for the Historical Society. Take a look at it. And don't forget, we are still looking for those to volunteer in research and also to bring in any photos or items, articles in reference to anything that occurred in Sharon Hill from the year of 2017 to current. That's the block of time that we're working with that we do not have recorded. Okay, once we can get that recorded, we can go back and start, pulling and, other materials and getting everything updated. But we really do need the community help for the years of 2017 through 2026. And thank you very much. That's all I have for this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Brabham. Any questions for Councilor Brabham?
Yeah, what the stuff that you need from 2017 to 2026, where could they bring that stuff? Like drop it off?
Thank you. Please, what I would love for you to do is email me to let me know what you have and where it is, because I don't want the Borough Hall to get hit hard with a lot of merchandise or anything. I would like to make arrangements so that we could pick it up and then store it properly. Okay, so please, email me at dbrabham, SharonHillBorough.com, at SharonHillBorough.com. Okay, it's also on the website if I messed that up. All right.
Councilor Brabham, are you looking only for artifacts, or would you be also needing people to come forward with just information that they might have about
artifacts, anything that they have from those years? We need everything for those years, whether it's digital, media print, verbal. I'm talking to everyone because for some of these years I was here. So, but I don't have the information. Okay, so please, I really need your help, and I know it's out there, and I know you guys are anxious to tell us about it, so please email me, let me know. And also the Historical Society does have an email. It's also on the website, and I believe I don't want to mess it up, so it's on the website for the Historical Society. You can either email the Historical Society or me directly.
Thank you very much. Any other questions for Councilor Brabham? Okay. Moving right along to Councilor Felder.
I have no reports to give at this period.
Okay, thank you. If I could just share, I was reminded at our last meeting to share out with the public that the borough does have cold patch available. I know this is the season for road work, so if anyone has potholes that they feel like can be addressed as an individual contributor or homeowner, the borough has always and still continues to provide free cold patch to residents of Sharon Hill. You just need to call here and then share when you'd like to come so that our public works guys can be available at the garage to give it to you. And that's all I wanted to say with relation to public works. Councilor Smith?
No report at this time.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Patrick?
Good evening. I have no report at this time.
Good evening, thank you. Okay. At this time, we'll move to our officials updates, leading with Mayor Booker.
Greetings, everyone. Sorry for the lack of reverb. Dope beats, dope rhymes. No, just kidding. All right, I have just a few things. Sharon Hill Police Department responded for 645 calls for service for the month of April. And I previously read the complete report during the last meeting, so I'll move along from there. Yesterday, I attended the Darby Creek Joint Authority meeting. There was a follow-up about the quarterly payment details that we discussed. On Saturday, May 23rd, we are having a Memorial Day salute for our fallen veterans. If you have a family member that was a fallen veteran, please feel free to call the Borough Hall. We're collecting names so we can announce them during the meeting. That time will be I'm sorry, lost the Borough phone number. Well, you can call the Borough Hall and you can actually give them your phone number, or you can email me, ebooker@sharonhillborough.com with the name of your veterans, and we will be announcing them. We'll also be announcing civil servants who have lost their lives in the line of duty as well. So, so please contact us with your loved ones. Name of your loved ones. And on May 29th, I'll be attending a Derby Creek informational session in regards to Derby Creek, and I will give everyone an update on that the subsequent week of June during our next meeting. And that concludes my information for today. Any questions?
Yes, Mayor Booker, did you say the time? I heard you say Saturday the 23rd.
Yes, Saturday 23rd, 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. And there will be light refreshments if you're hungry.
Thank you. Any other questions for Mayor Booker? Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Solicitor, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Madam President. Nothing to report in addition to those solicitor items listed later in the agenda, for which I'll be happy to answer any questions that anyone might have.
Thank you. And Interim Chief Johnson is not in the room. Corporal Addis, do you have any updates for us?
Yes, Chief Johnson wanted me to remind everybody that strategic placement of patrol officers will be on Chester Pike throughout the borough. These officers will be doing traffic enforcement details up there each day, as long as the call volume allows it to. He wanted to remind council and the residents they are continuing with the speed studies that are going to be conducted through the borough as well. And would like to remind everybody that 911 is for both emergencies and non-emergencies. By calling 911, this is increases our response time, because if they're right to the dispatcher we get and says someone called the station, if we're in there on the hours when the borough or when the office is closed, the phone doesn't get answered. You can remain anonymous once you tell the dispatcher that you do not wish to give your information. They cannot give it to us, give it to anybody. It gets wiped off the screen. So we ask everybody to call, and if you don't want to leave your information, let the dispatcher know that, and we will not know information. That is all we want to be reminded about that.
Thank you, Corporal Addix. Any questions for Corporal Addix? All right, thank you very much. Okay. And Mr. Treasurer.
Good evening, everyone. My report is the same as last meeting, but I'll read out the Treasurer's report for you all. So April 2025 Treasurer's report is balance on hand as of March 31st, 2026 was $412,110.60. In the month of April, we had added deposits and receipts of $3,273,489.34, bringing that balance before disbursements to $3,685,599.94. In the month of April, we also had disbursements and withdrawals of $619,476.79, bringing the general fund balance as of April 31, 2026 to $3,066,123.15. Also in the month of March and April, there were bills and invoices paid totaling $172,910.23. And I don't have anything to report on those bills or invoices, but of course I'm available for answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Treasurer. Are there any questions for our Treasurer?
I think the Treasury bill, the Treasury reports look a lot better. I am still struggling with being able to read this on a monthly basis and actually make sense of it without monthly actuals. and monthly, and then year-to-dates. So I wonder if we should have a conversation offline and figure out, is there a way for us to actually look at this in a way that can help us with really making sense of the numbers?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if it's in your packet, but there may be a income statement, a profit and loss statement summary, condensed summary of the departments, and may or may not be in there. Okay, I did send that via email to you. Yes. Well, I don't know what month that is that you're looking at. That you have in front of you. Okay. Yes.
You're right. That's from the last meeting. The most recent one is in your laptop screen.
The January through April, was that the numbers you were just reading?
Yes. That's the right one. Because that's the month that we're reporting on.
So I was not able to follow what you were saying against this, so it could be me, that's what I'm saying, maybe we can meet, but I also know there's probably a simplified way for us to actually look at it. I don't think the list of bills without what we have budgeted for those bills is really helpful for us to make sense of. So I think there's a way that we could work together and come up with a full financial report that actually helps. Not everyone helps me to make sense of the numbers.
Thank you, Councilor Fleming. I think it'd be helpful if you have a sample or a template that you'd like to propose, so that we know how to best, get you able to understand or get what you need out of the reporting every month. That would be a good kickoff.
Yeah, it's probably something that's just a basic template of a full financial report. The list of bills is really nice to have, but I can't make sense of them.
Sure. No, and I mean, whatever you'd like, since you're identifying a need, I think a kickoff would be to propose something, if you like. If not, I'm sure our treasurer can come up with something that might make things a little clearer. Are there any other questions for the treasurer? Okay. I got so much paper on this desk. All right. Madam Borough Manager.
Thank you, Madam President, Council, members of the public. I am going to defer to our engineer. The engineer's report was not included in the agenda, but she is present. The report is in your packet, and I would like to give her an opportunity to go through her report before reporting out on manager-related items.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Hi, Susan. Sorry about that.
I apologize for sending that over late, so that's my fault. I just have a few quick items to highlight. First, Mayor Booker mentioned next week, on the 29th, there's an in-person meeting for the Eastwood Club. It's at Hines Wildlife Refuge. I think I sent it to most of you, but it's May 29th in person at Hines Wildlife, 11 to 12:30. So that's for municipal leaders. So anybody that would like to come from council is welcome to come, Madam Borough Manager, anybody that would like to come, council and engineers. It's a little bit more technical, so it's not for the general public, but if you'd like to attend, and again, I can send a reminder of that. Last meeting, we had spoken about the Delcora work that was done last year. I did speak with them. They didn't send much more over than what I had included in the Chapter 94 report, but I did find in their report from last year that there was an area in Sharon Hill that was identified as an I&I, high priority I&I area, which means they'll start looking into doing work. When it'll happen, who knows, probably next year, I would guess. But there is one area, so that's, at least it's on their radar, and then we can just continue looking into different areas of sanitary sewers that need some help. And then lastly, there is a resolution tonight that will allow us to apply for a grant, Greenways Recreation Trail, and, right? Yeah. It's in there, okay. So Madam Borough Manager and I were just working together to try to get some money to help upgrade some of the playground equipment. A couple of residents mentioned to her that some of it is in disrepair, so we're looking to find some money to repair some of those. That's all I have for tonight.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for our engineer?
Yeah, this is just a question, not a trick question, I promise.
I'll try.
And what areas that our engineer helped find grants for Sharon Hill Borough.
We can help in any way that you'd like us to help. It's just a matter of where you see we fit into that. We have kind of a grant, we have a feeler out with all the grants. Typically we do more of the infrastructure stuff, sewers, playgrounds, parks. And CDBG stuff is like paving, ADA ramps, upgrades like that.
Right.
But really we can do any of it. We can do from sending you ideas for grants to this one, I can do the grant application for you. So really, in terms of, how we can fit into that, it's really however you would like us to.
Okay. I mean, this is much, later. Well, this is a later conversation. But the two things I wanted to ask about, it was a while ago, I think like 3 years ago, like when I came on council, I was curious about beautifying that bridge that comes over, you know what I'm talking about? In other areas, other places where I've been, that wall that comes over, it's beautiful as a design.
Right.
Yes. Thank you.
The Falkroft Bridge?
Yes.
And that does.
You don't need a Falkroft Bridge.
Oh, yes, I do remember that, yes.
So if we can find something, I think because that's most of how people enter Sharon Hill, I think doing something with that will be amazing. And then also too, I've been speaking with, I'm talking to the school, their grant person, supposed to be meeting with her, I think, tomorrow, about seeing if we can do any collaboration with getting that whole park area and seeing if they can collab with us. And then I talked to Mr. Mike, and what's the other gentleman's name? And Mr. Andrew, Madam President, took them over to the park. And we just want to just make sure that, by the way, that it's not interfering with what we have going on with the buildings that's going to happen here. They were very adamant about that, which I respect. But we really need to get that park redone. And there's some ADA stuff over there that needs and might identify those areas. And I feel, not I think, but I know once those things are upgraded in this borough, it's going to take us to a whole nother level. And that's one of the things that I would love to see. So if we can, start.
For sure, I can look into different types of grants that might apply or something like that.
Okay, and you'll keep me posted?
Yep.
Thank you so much.
I had one other question, Susan. When we have work done, like the work that was done on High Street maybe a year ago, with regard to painting the lines back, should the lines go back down by whoever did the work?
Yes.
Or is that, okay?
Did they not?
They did not.
Ever?
No.
Because there was a handicap space that I know, and I know that they repainted the handicap space, but I thought that they went out and repainted.
The corner, where there was no parking at the corner of the block, it wasn't repainted.
Okay. Yeah, no, that should have been redone.
Okay. Will they come back and do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give them a call.
Take that off our plate. Okay. Thank you. Any other questions for our engineer? All righty. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, Susan.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Madam President. Before you tonight, as our engineer Susan mentioned, there is a resolution to support a grant that we would like to apply for $100,000 for playground improvements at Borough Parks. The park in particular that I'm hoping we can use these funds to rehab is Weederwax. I know that there was significant improvements done to that area, including the installation of a pavilion, but the playground equipment there is in severe disrepair. It was brought to my attention, myself and the mayor. I had an opportunity to go out and look at the area. It's one of the smaller parks here, so I'm hoping that grant will be able to cover the cost to be able to remove that dangerous equipment and install something that the children and families can enjoy. So, as I always say, I hear every complaint that comes through. I may not be able to respond to them all the time as quickly as I'd like to. I'm only one person. We have a small staff here, but things that are high priority that I know that we can apply for funding for that is sustainable, because that's the biggest thing for me. I don't want to apply for anything that we will struggle to sustain. We definitely try to make sure we go let our partners know so that they can apply on our behalf. So you will see that resolution before you this evening. You will also see an agreement before you this evening supporting the local charter school here for the children to have a field day on at ABC Park, utilizing that field there. So you will see that. The other item that is at the end of your packet is a report from H&H. So I did reach out to our trash vendor pending our caucus meeting with some of the concerns that residents brought. I am looking to schedule an opportunity for H&H to come and do a presentation to the community just to talk about some of the hot items as well as some of the challenges that they face. In that report, it's lengthy. I don't want to go through all of it. I do want to emphasize on pages 7 and 8, you will see some of the residential service coordination examples. These are calls that may have come in, what they were about, and how H&H responded to them. A lot of them had follow-up routes, like they had to reroute to go back and pick it up. I know that there was a concern about commingling. I did speak with them about that. I do know that they do a recycling report annually, so they do collect recyclables. There are instances where you may see commingling, and it's consistent with them trying to stay on top of collections if there was a delay. So instead of putting the trash back or having you push it back to the curb, they'll just collect it all. So there are instances where that happens, but it's not an everyday occurrence according to the vendor. I don't want to discredit anything you may see, but according to the vendor, it does happen, but it's in an effort to stay on top of collections. They also reported some concerns where residents utilize their recycle bin as their trash bin. So sometimes that also creates a circumstance where they just want to collect it. So you may see them collecting from a recycle bin, but it's actually somebody's regular trash. So again, not making any excuses. You see what you see. We just want to hold our vendor accountable and make sure that they can provide answers and responses to the community. So continue to call them. They do document the calls, as you'll see in your packet. Continue to call. They did also inform me that someone called the news on them about their trash not having been collected. And they respond to all of those complaints. In addition to that, on High Street in particular, and Susan, I'll follow up with you about the signage on the ground and the painting. We have vehicles sometimes that are parking too close to the corners. So it's making it difficult for the trash trucks to make those turns to get down the alleyway. So on High Street, Florence, all of those areas, it's really tight around there. I frequently get out and drive around just to see these areas that residents are complaining about so that we can figure out what we need to do. So sometimes it may be as something as simple as we might have to put a no parking, to the curb type sign. So I say that to say we're listening, we're trying to improve. It may come with some fallout that you weren't prepared for, such as reducing parking in an area so that the trucks can make those turns. But I just want to, again, reiterate that every concern, every complaint that comes in, we're doing the best we can to respond as quickly as possible. That concludes my report for this evening.
Awesome, thank you very much. Any questions for our borough manager?
I do have one. It's still in that same corner. Yes. I see that they have picked up a lot of the trash, and it seems as though they're emptying the dumpster, but they did not finish the cleanup. There's still mattresses back there. It really looks like, animals could be living there, you know.
So we spoke with code about that also, because there's a apartment complex.
Back in there, yes.
Yeah, so we had an extensive conversation with code. Madam President was present during that conversation. We went over the map, making sure that Commonwealth Code, our assigned code enforcer, knew exactly where that location is. So we do expect to see some improvement in that area now that he knows exactly where that is. And if we need to, you know, I'll say this also, this evening in your packet, you will see the approval for the nuisance violation code increase. So we hope to be able to get faster traction on some of these code violations now that we're not looking at a $25 fine anymore. The fines have increased. So we're hoping that we can get a faster turnaround, but I do want to respond and say that yes, we were able to clearly identify that location and we're working aggressively on it along with other things throughout the borough.
Okay, also, and if you notice, even when to drive down that little section is at your own risk. Because, I mean, really, we laughed at the sign and it says 15 miles per hour. In all honesty, if you did 15 miles per hour, you would end up in an accident because that road it's not a road. You know, it's labeled as a street, but it is not. It's just a bunch of gravel with major holes. So, you know, people live there, you know. I don't know, I know I keep asking, is it on the radar? Can we get it paved? Can we get it level?
Right, so I'll follow up with our engineer about that also. If it is identified as a borough street, we can look and see if there's some funding available that we can apply for in order to repave and make that street more visible and accessible. I know there's a lot of trees and overgrowth back there also.
There's a lot that needs to be done on that end, but it also goes all the way to Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay. Duly noted.
I have a question about traffic congestion at the school dismissal over at PCIU. At a certain point in the park, all around Barker, from Coates all the way up, sometimes that street is so congested and it's idle. And they block off this street going to pick up children. And it causes a problem because they pull up, the kids come out, then they decide to one at a time. If the street is congested, almost like a block long, sometimes it turns both ways on Coates Street, going back towards Sharon Avenue and going towards the school, that it's hard to get by. And I know that, God forbid, a fire or someone need to get to their home in an emergency for some reason, that they can't do it. So that one street, that strip, going to the school to pick up children, is very congested at a certain point.
Coates in particular? Are you saying Coates in
it's
particular?
Barker Street,
Okay.
Barker Avenue, but the cars sometimes run all the way back to Coates Street.
So,
and they also block off the turn here, with Marble Street, in a lot of areas.
Right this
Right here, right where the church ends. It's hard to get by because they have it blocked off.
What do you mean blocked off?
Well, the cars, instead of the car leaving a leadway, they'll move their car and block the street off to get to the daycare center.
Okay. So if I can, I'm sorry, go ahead, Councilor.
And it's hard to get by. And also, I had mentioned this before, when we had the flood over here in Corporal Addicts, so heroically helped out with the flood that was there. It's a pile of mulch that sits at the corner property. And I had mentioned this a while ago, that the person need to have their mulch put back on their property because they were basically blocking the sidewalk with it. And the mulch has been there for a long time. And I asked before when they had the flood in that area from the rain with the leaves. I know the mulch probably contributed to it, but to have it, if she's going to have, well, the property owner, if they're going to have their mulch there in such volume, they need to put a cover over it to keep it from blowing with the wind and moving back towards the pavement. It continues to be that way. And if you don't want the mulch, you need to volunteer it to the community. Quite sure people can use it, but it's been sitting there for a while.
Okay. I can follow up with you afterwards just to get specific locations.
And Mayor Booker, maybe we can work with our department on a traffic remediation for the, sounds like pickup and drop off times at the school and in the back up at Barker.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Not to mention they go against the traffic too.
So,
you know, they come out and they just go straight up.
Around what time?
That's a big hazard.
What time is that exactly?
This is like during school dismissal time, maybe like 2, 3, 3:30. something
yeah, okay, go ahead.
Borough manager, so first of all, I want to thank you for getting Highway out to clean up some of the pile up leaves around the sewer. But on Laurel, there's leaves and stuff that are piling up by the sewage. And I know there was some flooding issues with those 2 properties on the end over there. So if we can have, I think we got like 3, 2 at the end of the block of the 300 block of Laurel, and then on Bartlett.
339 Laurel.
Yeah, right. So if we can have, I know they're going to make their way over there, but I just wanted to just put that out there. But I wanted to say thank you because that's like a good resolution, being that our street sweeper is down. So thanks for coming up with that plan B, because some of the residents has been saying some good things about, because we've been having the rain and the winds, that they've been out there cleaning that stuff up. So thank you so much, Borough Manager.
Just to make sure the address is correct, you said around, near and or around 339 Laurel Ave? The inlet, Laurel Road? Okay, Laurel Road, the inlets. So, just so everyone is aware, in instances of rain, obviously we have to let that kind of settle first. The guys will get out, make sure that they collect things that are on top of the inlets. They have had to shift some of their tasks to accommodate the rain. So I know that there were some additional things that came in. They were able to get some of the flags out and prep for Memorial Day. If there were any flags that were missed, again, the rain, charge it to the rain and not to the efficacy of the staff. But I'll definitely make sure that in light of the street sweeper being down, that we have more focus on making sure that we keep those inlets clean in those streets. As always, due to the tremendous work of council, we have trash bags available, we have brooms available, we have trash pickers available. If any residents are in need of any supplies that want to just clean up in front of their homes, sweep up in front of their homes, please feel free to come by. We will definitely lend those items out to you. The trash bags you can keep. But we do just ask that you bring those trash bags, the pickers, the trash, the pickers, the brooms, and any other supplies that could be returned to us, that you return them back to us. But we will definitely make those available, as we appreciate and value residents who want to make sure that the fronts of their homes are clean. Thank you. Any other questions for our borough manager?
I'll email you. We'll talk later.
I like emails. I on my voicemail, my email is there. Feel free to email me any concern you have. It actually makes it easier for me to put it on the spreadsheet to follow up with. So please don't hesitate. manager@SharonHillBoro.com. Thank you. At this time, we will move into our public comment section of the meeting. I'd like to remind the public that public comment is for 3 minutes. If you come forward, please come to the podium and share your name and address and ask all of your questions first, and then we will address your concerns and your questions afterwards so we don't use your time. Is there anyone else with any additional comment cards? Okay. Just the one. I have to practice it. It's okay. It's all right. If you don't mind. Just the only stuff that was in minutes. Thank you. This is the build list. I have the build list. I just don't have the treasurer's report. Okay. Thank you for your patience. All right. The first comment card I have is for Sandra Holcomb.
Good evening, council. Good evening, everybody. Short and sweet. First thing I want to know, I'm a little bit disappointed. Heard nothing about the 4th of July. So I was waiting tonight, hoping I'd hear something, and I heard nothing. Consider it's a 250 year. It would, kind of be nice to know what's going on. As you all know, I'd like to help. So, I'm just kind of interested in that. I do want to make a statement about the 3-minute rule. I do understand the 3-minute rule. But when you have 3 people who speak, and sometimes people are passionate about things, I think it's more respectful to let people speak their minds. Because let's face it, this is the only time we get you all together. We're lucky to get 2 months, two days out of every month to sit and speak with you all in one room. Been to many events, and we don't want to burn things up when you're having fun out there doing stuff. This is where we get to really speak our minds. And we're not being given that chance. And I kind of think you as council could work a little bit better to hear us. I know we all have emotions and we all have feelings, but I think that's why you're up here and we are down here, because you should be able to be a little bit more patient with us than the average citizen can be patient. There was a statement made about people talking. To be honest, sometimes you guys get boring because you're long-winded also. We'll listen to your conversations and you go on and not about anything important. But when you do talk about something like the landmark decision, we heard 3 minutes. We know nothing more. We have to look it up. We have to do this research. It would be nice if you gave us more in so maybe the Eastwood project. We very seldom hear about that. When things are coming up that are important, you don't discuss those, but we can have long conversations about things that lead us to sit and talk to ourselves many times. And that's really all I have to say. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments, councilors. Anyone?
Yeah, I'm sorry for talking too much. Sorry.
Thank you for the comment about the 4th. Not that we don't have something planned, but the idea that this is a big one and we could be like teeing it up a little bit more, I think that's a good awareness point. So thank you for bringing that up.
Okay. With regard to the 4th of July, I will say we have plans for July 3rd, that Friday, and our parade. And Mayor Booker, you're working on a significant piece of the parade. I'll wait for you to roll that out on the 4th. And so there will be more to come. Last year we shared out for 250. We'd like to have some community engagement and partnership so we could roll out some big bang things. And here we are. So we will do a celebration because for some people it's really important to do that. We're seeking some partnerships and we'll roll out the information to the community more. But we do have some things planned, and I'm being vague just because I don't want to share something yet that hasn't been cemented. So more to come on July 4th celebrations in Sharon Hill. Thank you so much. Okay.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
In terms of participating in certain activities in the community, the council is here to help with resources to make things happen that the community wants. There's a lot of committees that's not functional, and it would behoove the community to help in making some of these committees operational because it's for the community. I know council at times have been at the forefront of making a lot of things happen in the community, but it's not for council to do. It's for the communities to want, and the council could help you do. So when you want things like beautification, we can probably reach out to different vendors to make things happen. Because I know before we had a beautification committee, and we used to give out herbs and flowers and mulch and things like that to help people with their gardening. That particular committee disappeared, not so much because council didn't want it, the community didn't keep it going. That's the same thing with any committee or ones that you can think of, except for the ones that we have to initiate because it's a political tie and we have to function within our own operation. But we still need folks from the community to come step up and give us your desires and let committees be created around your thoughts, and you put them into practice, and we can help you with resources. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Felder. The next comment card is for Ms. Tracy Turner.
I wasn't going to speak on this, but now that we're on the committees. Myself, Mr. Blister, Sandy, we were on a committee. We got thrown off of it. We're always going to help, ever, no matter what it is. So it's not that we don't get involved. You guys pick who you want. It's not everybody who wants to volunteer gets to volunteer, because we don't. We get thrown off of stuff. But anyway, that's not even why I'm here. I just want everybody to know that. Code enforcement, where are they? Because the town is horrible. As I'm saying this again for the 20th time. I don't know. I'm gonna talk to Tony Ray here. Something needs to be done. The stuff's in Robbie, you're near me. You know what it looks like. Of course. I don't know how much you guys come around. It's sickening. That's all I got to say.
I agree. And now that I think, but council agrees too. We've, and I can speak for everybody up here. We email, because we residents, right? We email code. Now, I'm not going to say code is not doing anything. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that more visibility is needed, right? And what I'm saying is that for some reason, people just think that this borough is a trash can. Now, I know why people think this borough is a trash can, and I'm gonna explain myself. The reason why they think it's a trash can is because when they walk down Chester Pike, they see trash everywhere. So if they're eating a bag of Doritos, or whatever they got in their hand, they got a plastic bag in their hand, they coming from 7-Eleven or coming from wherever, they're going to just drop it on the ground. Now, if you walk down Sharon Avenue and somebody's walking past the church, you're not going to drop anything. Let me tell you why. Because the church is always clean around there. They know it's always clean there. When you go in areas, certain areas of Sharon Hill, it's clean. Like when you go down where, what road y'all live down? What's that? Terrace? Yes. Clean as Broad Street over there. And I'm not saying that people don't go over there. It's just that it's clean over there. So if you walk there, you're not going to drop anything on the ground. You're going to look for a trash can. So what I'm saying is that I feel that we have, and we're doing it. This is why this is here. And I'm not it's not a throw under the bus situation. The reason why we're upgrading our ordinances is because you have to get tougher on the fines and penalties. When you get tough on that, then the residents, people that live here and people that are getting caught doing these things, they will know not to play around here, not to drop stuff. When you keep things low, then it's like, oh yeah, I can pay that. That's nothing. That's a drop in the bucket. I'll wait for it to come around. I got that. The other thing is consistency. If we go past a business and this business is not doing what they're supposed to do, like cleaning up around their business and so forth and so on, and our code go there like the one time and then they don't go back, and then if I'm walking down the pipe on my exercise and I, send an email in and then they go back, or they gonna say, okay, they coming back in, and so now we're going to clean up. There was a tree down at the Swiss Farms. I mean, people don't know about it. This tree was down for like a year, almost. And it took long to clean up. But they wasn't in a hurry to do it because there was no consistency with going back there and getting the problem taken care of. So that's what, and we recognize that. And that's what's being done now. I ain't gonna say it's gonna take some time, but we're working towards it. Our Madam President is pushing towards it. Thank you. Our solicitor is pushing towards it. We're not playing any games. And I think on that side of it, we know about that. The other thing I want to say is this. On the 200 block of Laurel, there's a lot of rentals. And I say this all the time. Well, let me say this before I say this. We're going to do everything within the law to serve a penalty, a fine. We're going to do it within the law. The people who own these properties, they live in other states, other countries, and this is true. And all they care about is getting the rent. They don't care how these people throwing trash out the windows. They're putting that trash out with no trash cans. What council is going to do is look to tighten all that up with the law. And when you got these rental properties and they disrespecting the borough, you know what I'm saying? Why are they rental license getting renewed? Mm-hmm. They're not following the law. Mm-hmm. And that goes for they're not following the law. So these are the things that we're talking about. But we don't want to discriminate. There's no discrimination. There's nothing like that. We live here just like everybody else, and that's the beauty of it. So yeah, I see it. I walk around the borough. I walk around and I send stuff in. But I just want to say that when people see that when you go somewhere, if you walk downtown, if you walk in Media, if you walk Ridley, you're not going to see trash. You walk Springfield, you know what I mean? You're not going to see the trash. So if you got trash in your hand, you're going to hold it in your hand until you get to a trash can. That's what I want to happen in Sharon Hill. People hold their trash in that trash. And all my residents that are looking at this, us on Facebook right now, please, if you see something, say something. The residents on, what's that street, Madam President? Is that High Street? That all the tires? It had all the tires. Our borough manager and myself, we took a ride over there. We went back there. I mean, they had tires up, like used tires up there. I would never saw that, and I normally see everything. But it took the residents on that block. And they not only complaining about that, they complaining about neighbors too. So that's what we need. That's one of the things we need, these eyesores. If a fire was to happen at that tire business, it would take them 5 days to put that fire out. That's how many tires are over there. And the chief can tell you, it's hard to put them kind of fires out. So we're on it. We know, and I just wanted to share that all with you. Thank you.
Thank you, VP Hill.
Just briefly, to go along with what VP said, please report everything. You don't have to put your name down, just as Corporal Alex mentioned earlier. Just talk to us. Just communicate. Reach out to the borough, call the police, stay vigilant. We need those people, all of you who are investing in the community, to know that we're invested as well. And please protect your investment by speaking and letting us know. That's all.
Thank you. Okay, is anyone else?
Can I say just one thing, because we live on Twin Oaks, and I don't know, one person who I saw as a model when I first got involved was the mayor. And I remember we were walking, and he has a bag, and he's picking up trash as we were walking. I think it was up Elmwood. And I know a lot of folks see me walking with my dog, and they see me walking with my trash bag now, because it really is something that I think it's a collective responsibility. Yes, our code enforcer have to do it, but also on Twin Oaks Avenue, I was out after the trash man passed on earlier, and I was in the middle of the street. Anything that they didn't capture, we got. Because I know what the value of my property is and what curbside appeal is, and trash takes away from the value of your property. It makes it look like a place you don't, and I think all of my neighbors on Melrose and Twin Oaks Avenue, we understand the collective contribution of just picking up a few pieces every now and then. That doesn't mean that's everybody's responsibility, but I think there's the borough's responsibility and our collective responsibility also to the community.
Thank you. Any other counselors want to comment to this? Okay. Thank you. The next public comment card is from Ms. Donna Hunter.
Hello.
Good evening.
I just wanted to, the manager maybe go more in depth about the recycling. She kind of brushed over that. And the other thing that I wanted to just give suggestions about being a poll worker. When precinct 1, we had 2 strong men helping us. It's really crazy to think that women in her late 60s and the middle 70s can lift the printer, the typewriter, and the other machine from the top of a cage and put it on the stands that need to go. Plus the stands that the people go down, they're very heavy and they're very dangerous to put together, because wind cut herself when you're putting those together. And this year helping us because she was hurt so severely. So you have to have men, at least one man at each precinct, because most of the women are senior women who are doing the poll. One of the guys, our Joe, went over and helped precinct 3 because they couldn't handle that heavy equipment. So I'm suggesting that at every precinct there be at least one man to help out. The other thing is, who is responsible for getting the poll workers? Because our Joe, who was Monica, was let go for some reason in the middle of May, the second week of May. And our Joe was somebody, I don't even know if he went to training, but he had absolutely no experience. He couldn't handle the poll, he couldn't handle the poll tag. I had to train him on everything. Me and Wynn were actually the Joe because he knew nothing about working at the polls. It's really important that the people who work the polls know what they're doing, because the closing is the most difficult part about working the polls. And he had absolutely no experience. He was a smoker, so there were times when he left when he should have been doing the job, because we had somebody actually come in to vote who could not vote. because she had changed her address. She was not in the poll tab. I asked somebody to call to see if they could help her. He was not in the building to assist her. So she left, and whether or not she reports it, she was not able to vote. So it's really important when you guys are select. And then the other person we had working with us who was very helpful, but she couldn't speak English very well. So she was very limited in what she could do to help. So out of the 4 workers we had, there were only really, well, it was 5 of us. There was only 2 of us that really could do a good job. So I'm asking you to be more selective in people you're picking for the poll. Okay? Thank you.
Before you answer, is that a question for council or is that a question for the party committees?
Neither. So it is a question for neither party. So Ms. Turner, thank you for your feedback and thank you for being a poll worker and participating in your community in that way. The council does not have anything to do with
Well, that's why I'm just asking.
I'm gonna share that. So, but for anyone who was wondering, the council does not choose poll workers. The Bureau of Elections of Delaware County is who appoints poll workers. The borough party will collect names of interested parties such as yourself and submit to the Bureau of Elections, and they facilitate the training and they facilitate the assignments for poll workers. And I was just looking on their website. I can try to find it, or you can go to the Delaware County Bureau of Elections website and they'll tell you when their meetings are. They do have public meetings where concerns like that can be shared so they can evaluate how assignments are done and who goes where. I myself, I'm having visited few polls this past election, have some concerns that I will share with them from my vantage point. So everyone in the public is welcome to go there, just as when they did the poll consolidations, the public was welcome to go to those meetings to hear the impact. As it pertains to how the new Joe got there, the former judge of elections was not a resident of Sharon Hill Borough, but a very beloved nearby community member. And so no one had ever been formally run for that seat, but it is an elected seat. And so a resident of the borough's name was written in as a candidate for judge of elections, and therefore that is how he became the Joe. It is our right to vote for people. It's a right to volunteer ourselves. I did have some thoughts because there was another poll worker who was also a longtime poll worker who was also replaced by another person that was written in on the ballot. So oftentimes voters take a liberty of writing in a person without knowledge of the role or even knowing if the person wants the role, but that is truly how a person can be appointed or elected to that seat for judge of elections and minority or majority inspector. But those are concerns to be taken to the Bureau of Elections because the council does not create those roles. And I know you had a question about recycling. Madam Borough Manager, can you share any further insights on the recycling?
Was there a specific question that you had about it?
Do we actually have a recycling program? And if we do, are we getting any credits for it?
Absolutely, yes. We do have a valid recycling program. Recycling is a requirement. You can always go to, and this is for anyone, you can go to the Delaware County Solid Waste Authority's website, and you'll be able to see their annual report for not only Sharon Hill, but other boroughs and municipalities in Delaware County. So you will be able to see totals of tonnage of items collected, etc. They have to do that report annually.
And you guys are getting a credit, and can you tell us how much of a credit we are receiving?
So the hauler receives the credit. I can find out if you want to know what the specific
so the
amount
borough
is.
doesn't get anything from it?
No.
Okay.
Because we don't have a recycling coordinator. Some municipalities have a recycling coordinator, so that person is responsible for tracking numbers and they can apply for the credits. The hauler does it for us. It's an outsourced service. So any credits, that are earned or gained, if you will go back to the hauler because they do the report, they do the calculations and the tonnage. They monitor all of that for us.
Can I have one more question? Why doesn't our code enforcer show up at the meetings anymore? He started showing up in the beginning.
It's a personnel matter, Ms. Hunter, so we won't be able to discuss the code enforcer at this time.
Well, the code enforcement before used to come to the meetings.
Yeah, so,
Are you going to require him to come to the meetings going forward?
so
I know
at
you're saying
present,
why that's
comment,
such a sensitive question.
well, the reason he is not here is a personnel matter. This is what I'm saying. But Commonwealth Code is engaged to cover nuisance code, and Tony Tartaglia of Commonwealth Code and his team are filling in for the nuisance code. Mr. Tartaglia emailed me this evening to say that he is not well. I'll just say that he's not well, and asked that he be excused for tonight, and that he will, and to address and to bring any questions to him. So he has been present. He's not here tonight. And we do have the expectation that code will be present at our meetings. If you were speaking of Gary Collins, that is the personnel matter that we are not at liberty to discuss, but Commonwealth Code has been engaged to pick up the nuisance code in the interim, and Mr. Tartaglia is just absent this evening because of his own issues, which he shared earlier this evening. Our expectation is that code does come and present to the public. Thank you for your question. All right. Next public comment card is from Ms. Teresa Pearson Bay. Good evening.
Good evening, Madam President, Borough Council, Mayor, Booker, and I'd like to thank you all for your services. I'm a military and civil servant. My great-grandfather did not make it home. I found him again from World War II. So thank you all for your service. I'm glad you made it back. I'm here. I'm a member of the Friends of the Sharon Hill Public Library. Joining again, I'm a volunteer along with Sandra Holcomb. She's our new member. And like you said, Mr. Felder, the community, we're asking you all to support us because, as you know, once school ends, a lot of our residents or students don't have anywhere to go. They're limited on resources and food, and our director and the president of the entire Pennsylvania libraries is helping out with that problem. And I joined over a year ago, and we have a lot of fundraisers, and we have local companies that are willing to help out the Sharon Hill Public Library, because we can't do it by ourselves. And we do have volunteers that want to come. I think we have 10 members now. So first thing, we're going to have a fundraiser. It's called the Rita's Fundraiser Night. It's on Friday, June 5th. Please put it on your calendar, because from 4 to 7 p.m., we receive 20% of the proceeds go to the Sharon Hill Public Library. 20%. Only if it's not DoorDash. So you have to do it in person. Next, we have a 55-inch 4K smart TV that we are wrapping up for donation. You get 3 tickets for $5 and 1 ticket for $2. I have some with me, and you can go over to the Sharon Hill Public Library to give your donation. And then we have an ultimate essential basket raffle. I don't have a flyer for that. And the same thing, 3 for $5 and 1 for $2. We'll have that soon. And the Balloon Tycoon even suggested that we have, they can make a balloon and we're going to put items in there, sell raffle tickets, and we're deciding what to put in there. So whoever pulls that raffle ticket gets to pop that balloon, and you get whatever's in there. So we have some good ideas. Not unless you donate it. We have some good ideas because we know you all are doing the best you can to build up our community. I've been in this residence for 30 years, and we're doing some great things. I know there's a lot of things to work on, but I want to give, come up here. Mr. Ashby, come on. Because you're the one that made me come back and volunteer. I've had some health issues. And Tanya Allen, Madam President, I know you get a lot of grief here and there, but I want to say from the bottom of my heart, you're doing a great job. That's real. I don't just say. Sometimes you only hear the bad thing, but I want to say is I live here so I can speak the truth and tell you you're doing a fantastic job. Council member, my neighbor, vice president, you're doing a great job. We live across the street from each other, and thank you for bringing it up because we are getting leads here. But I want to say to the residents, I saw Tracy cleaning up her block, literally cleaning up her block. And last but not least, I want these gentlemen to stand up from Sunoco. I went over to them and asked them, what can you do to help the Sharon Hill Public Library in their offering to help us? We're thinking about having a gala. And they said, we'll do whatever we can to help you all.
Teresa, if I may.
Come on up here.
So here's, I'm sorry, it's over time, let me just say it by the councilman here. And so Teresa called the gentleman, and he said, I'll do whatever to help you. So in the library comes Rodney, Councilman Hill, and the gentleman. And Rodney says, he wants to donate to the library, but he wasn't sure if it was a scam or not.
So that was me. I was saying.
Rodney said it's a scam. It's a scam. I said, no, Teresa did. So the gentleman says to me, so what can we do for the library? I said, well, I don't know. He goes, tell me what you want.
What you want?
So I said, well, we want to give, we're building a new building. And we want to build our fund so the students can help the library. He said, so what do you want? I said, well, we need help, somebody to sponsor our gala. He said, where is it at? So I told him, the new place, Tiger Woods place. He goes, I know that place. Find out how much it costs. I mean, what better, what?
He's not just talking about it. They are about it. So no, I said, please stand again. Yes, he is a business owner who gives back to the community. And like I said, I've lived in Sharon Hill, and to end it with this, I would like to say thank you all for your time and your service. And I hope to continue to be a resident here in Sharon Hill. And I want to thank the residents, and I want to thank the president, the solicitor, the vice president, and our new mayor. And I've never met you, but our borough manager. So it's a thankless job, but somebody got to do it. Thank you, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Pearson-Vega. I really appreciate your comments. Thank you so much.
And the library board president, thank you.
And hey neighbors, I'm on Garvin Boulevard. Nice to meet you. I appreciate y'all coming. I really want to talk about for a moment, if I could be allowed these few moments just to talk about the modeling that we're seeing in this room tonight. Because while we're always, we have to address the wrong things, but some of the times with our business partners or the people that have businesses in here that don't engage and don't communicate or participate in the community, I have said it myself, we have not because we ask not. And then you go and you ask on behalf of your borough. And then we actually have a community partner sitting right there and very willing. So thank you for modeling that. Ms. Hunter, you're a poll worker. You're out, you clean your area. Just heard that Ms. Turner is cleaning, like the modeling. I just need to recognize that from the citizens of the borough, because there are going to be the deficits. And we've been saying this week after week about us each doing our part. And then here we are tonight, just listening to everyone talk about their contributions to the community that we live in, and that we want to keep loving and want it to be the place that we're happy to call home. So I want to just say that, and I want to thank everybody for modeling the very behavior that we want to see more of in our community. Mm-hmm. All right. I appreciate it. The next public comment card I have is from Mr. Felton White.
Good afternoon, Jim. How y'all doing?
How you doing?
How my council doing today? Everybody all right?
Yes.
I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I put in a comment card at the last minute. I was trying to, keep neutral tonight. I want to adjust the 3-minute thing again. I have a minute. I sit here tonight and I timed everybody at school. This lady here went over her 3 minutes. Not to punch you out. Not to punch you out.
I don't take
Ms.
offense.
Holcomb, I'm glad she brought it up because we didn't talk about 3 minutes. I'm not saying it was a bad thing. I'm saying it because you guys need to address it. And I think you need to address it because once we get up here and we say, for 3 minutes, we put our issue on the table, then we have nothing else to say after that. You guys get the last word and we can't respond, right? You guys take more than 3 minutes to even respond to us. So I just want to address that. I'm going to leave that there. I just want to say you guys need to go in and read. You know, when people have something good to say, y'all let them stand up and say it. I loved everything everybody said about what we're doing in the community, which is fine. Sometimes it takes more than 3 minutes to say that.
I agree.
Right? Sometimes it takes more than 3 minutes for people to get their concerns out. So just go back and readdress it. Try to figure out how we can make it better because y'all can't answer everybody's question. People can't get it out in 3 minutes and y'all can't answer it in 3 minutes. So we don't want people leaving here with no decision and still figuring out what then they're going to come back to the next meeting. So my 3 minutes is up. I'm going to leave it there. One more thing. Mr. Patrick, you're a councilman. So when you're adjusting that seat, I would love for you to take your hat off and respect everyone else. You're a councilman, I think. I'm just saying, I'm not fussing. I'm just saying if I have to take my hat off when I come in here, I would love for you as a councilman to take your hat off. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Councilor Zay.
So my you know, just about the 3 minute rule, and once you give more minutes to explain yourself. Anyone wants to ask you their Obama phone? Them phones, they just come on by themselves, and when you get them free plans, they just got a mind of their own. Stop, because I'm not looking at you. I'm not. So I know it's hot in here. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm always cold, y'all. And it's always getting on me about it. About me being cold. Okay, so let me get on what I had to say. So now we expand the 3 minute, right? And then how do we end that? Because yes, again, people get up and they get up here and they're very passionate about something that they see no resolution. You know, we keep, going over and over again. And I'm not missing the point. And just let me make my point. All right? My point is that when you expand the amount of minutes, right? Like let's say you go to 3 to 4, and then the resident is coming back. Where does that end? How do you cut? I'm asking for a resolution because I have been wrapping my mind around the 3 minutes. Like when I go to county council meetings, there's a 3 minutes, and what they do is they allow like maybe like a minute for them to like if they go over, and then after that is done. So I don't know. So in terms of we get up here and we're talking about this 3 minute thing, but no one actually came with a resolution. If you did, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that resolution. So let's think more around that because I don't want us to be like this all the time. And let me say this, and this is to what Madam President has said about in terms of like commending everybody for what they're doing in the community. Let me tell y'all something. I've been sitting in this chair for I think 5 years now. And I would say, Tracy Turner and hold on. Tracy Turner, Miss Roommaker, yes. The Threadgills, Sandra, they have really not missed a meeting. And that should get some commitment right there. No, seriously. Come on. I'm saying they haven't missed a meeting. So what I'm saying is that when I'm just pointing that out to say that you've been, like, when you come to these meetings, yes, you explain what's happening. You're passionate about what's happening. But I would like to hear a resolution because that's what's going to help us move forward. Like, so I just want to say that, okay? And that's it. How do we wrap that up? that 3 minute, like if we expand it. So that's what Sandra Holcomb, that's what my point I was trying to get to.
Can I?
Certainly.
Sure. So I just thought about maybe a potential solution. During the initial 3 minutes, you have a conversation. We have of course, the initial talk. But if there's something that needs to go over, how about a post-meeting recap? Where after the meeting you have some time. I don't mind sitting around. Me personally, I don't mind sitting around where we can talk it, and at the beginning of the next meeting, we can have a review where we'll talk about what the discussion was or where we maybe have come to a solution on. And if we haven't come to any solution or any potential change, we can address it at a later date or try to find a solution. But we'll address that there was a conversation had with the community about in regards to the matter, and we can mention the matter. I think that will allow us to have that time over and continue to actually make sure that it's in the public record as well that there was a conversation. And this allows us to be accountable for that conversation in regards to what we came through. So, just a food for thought.
Thank you, Mayor Booker. Councilor, anyone else?
I think the time rule is meshed in with something called the Sunshine Law. So even though it's not graved in stone, and as a legislator, because I sat here, I think, the longest out of everybody, and we used to do 2 community comment sections, but it became so time-consuming, cumbersome, and repetitive. Like one person may talk about trash in the alley, then someone else talk about the same alley with trash. And then somebody else will come up and talk about that same alley that the other folks already talked about. It used to be some gentlemen that used to come into this borough meeting, and they used to talk about this guy that had trucks parked on the lot.
Oh, yeah.
And he said he's here, his father had the problem, now he got the problem because he lives in the property. And I'm new, but he had these problems almost 10, 12 years before I even came to Sharon Hill. So I'm figuring like, well, what is the problem? And every time they solved the problem, it would become temporary. Same thing with parking. Same thing with people parking in front of near the corner. It was hard to make turns. We're going to have issues. The community is the solution. All the problems may not get solved, but we can do some correction. And I think we're looking for this forever solution, and if we were to give it or fix it for forever, it won't be forever. Because too much change take place from day to day. People behaviors change, and society give us things to change with. I would have never thought going into a supermarket and doing the work of a cashier and not get paid. I go stand in that little zip out line, bag my own stuff. Now you got to pay for your own bags or carry it out the store. Years ago, if I walked out the store with an item in my hand and it wasn't in a bag, I would get locked up. And it would say I stole it. I would have to produce a receipt. Now you have to produce a receipt in some of these establishments because they have someone there checking. And we adjust to that. Healthy, clean, and doing your duty to keep it that way is upon all of us if we want to make this community work beyond the complaints that's repetitive and constant. I have seen, even though we have a 3-minute rule, I think that's what every borough in Delaware County. What happens is, and I think it's that time is a reminder. Someone may say 3 minutes, your time is almost there. It's not to shut you up, it's to shore you up. because other people. Okay, I'm gonna hold myself to it. But she gave me the floor. I think that's what we need to do. We all got a contribution to make this make.
Last recommendation, I do apologize. The stuffiness was just messing with me. I'm getting watery and congested, so I do apologize. I think that all of your comments are valid. An area that can help strengthen that is with the block captains. I know that we've been pushing that initiative. Let's get our block captains involved because some of these things are repetitive and the block captains should be bringing that information to the committees on a consistent basis. There was also comment about the committees. This is a great opportunity to strengthen those committees because there should be no reason we get here and there's a public comment about something we haven't already heard 6-7 times through the block captains and the committee members. So that's just my little piece. 3 minutes and I'm done.
There's another block captains meeting next week, next Tuesday at 6 p.m. It's virtual. It'll be advertised, and if you've already reached out, everyone who knows about the block captains who's in this room, they can raise their hands and know that I reach out to them all the time. But I'm still looking for anyone who wants to be a block captain, wants to stand in that space for their community. Please do. Thank you.
Yeah, I was going to say one quick thing is, and this is just for us and how I listen. I think repetitiveness can be what people are saying, and another reason is that we haven't addressed the issue yet. And so I think when it hasn't been addressed yet, we're going to get that. And I like what George just said about the making sure we're hearing it 2 different ways. You can have people getting up saying the same thing, but they could be saying it because we still haven't made progress. And until we make progress, I think I am asking for the repetitiveness. Keep bringing it. And I like that Joy has said, let's get those block captains in place and really try to help us get things done.
I'll add one other thing. I do agree. I don't mind personally the repetitiveness. It doesn't make it more impactful to us. Just to be clear, if a third person comes, because we care when the first person comes and says what the issue is, bringing it back to us until there's resolution, we actually appreciate that because it helps us know what points we need to drill down on or to find gaps. So the question, I think, or the concern for me is not so much about repetitiveness at all. It's about the dialogue, because the idea should be bring us the issue, and we have to go away and fix it and work on it. That's why these comment cards, we can get contact information so we can follow up with residents. Many times we solve things and people don't come back. And I will say, our public works guys, they are not on the clock right now, but they watch these meetings so that they can immediately start actioning any items that are within their scope of work that they hear about. So I don't mind repetitiveness. I just want to be clear that the 3rd or 4th time saying it over does not make it more impactful than the very first person that said it. We can use reminders so that, like I said, we drill down on the spaces and places that we have gaps, so we need to get work done. But controlling the dialogue. And yes, it does become difficult to ask someone to keep their comments to 3 minutes when others take liberties and are going over. And you all know me, I struggle in that space. I'm sorry, Ms. Pearson. I struggle in that space because I mean, we've all been in meetings where people just cut the mic off or they just, gavel down people when it's time for them to stop talking. And we often, we want to let people finish their thought. But I do think there's a modicum of respect for your neighbor when you do try to curtail your comments because you know someone else needs to speak after you. I like the dialogue tonight. We can work towards something that makes everyone feel comfortable and really does make sense, like I said at the last meeting, for the meeting of the whole, not an individual. Then we would be better off if we find that resolution. So I welcome the comments. I did want to ask our solicitor just to comment on public comment in 3 minutes.
Sure. I just wanted everyone to be mindful of the fact that the law requires public comment at public meetings. It's a common misnomer that maybe discourse is required. where I would say after sitting in dozens of councils around Delaware and other counties, 9 times out of 10, they say thank you for your comment and you walk back to your seat. So this council is by far the most receptive and responsive of any I've experienced, for which I think folks should just realize that that's not necessarily the way that other borough councils interact with their constituents. And additionally, I think with regard to the 3 minutes, this is a legislative meeting that we have once a month. We've been here now 2 hours, 15 minutes, and we haven't even gotten to one bit of legislation. So there is some interest in promoting expediency of the meeting. Having the energy or stamina to truly evaluate the decisions they're making and the most important part of the meeting. So it's certainly not to squelch anyone's opportunity to be heard, but it's just generally intended to promote and to prevent a situation where the important portion of the meeting is not pushed so far in the back that you're just rubber stamping things and pushing things through just for the sake of getting the meeting over. So I just wanted to add that as well.
Thanks, Kyle. Okay. I have one final comment card, Ms. Monica Doyle.
Yes.
Welcome, thank you.
Yes. Yes, hello. Yes, hi, my name's Monica Doyle. I live at 327 Sharon Avenue, and I would like to know why the taxes are going up so high, 19%. I understand in Sharon Hill. My solution is don't raise it 19%. You know why they're going up so?
Is that your only question, ma'am?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, so, thank you for your question.
Is it true they're going up 19%?
I don't know off the top of my head, I don't recall, but 19% I don't believe was our number. We did have an increase, but it certainly wasn't 19%.
School board.
Oh, is that the school board number? Okay.
Around 19%.
Taxes are going up 19%?
I can't guarantee that, but it's proposed. Someone mentioned it.
Is it the county?
County level.
Okay.
Do you have?
Is that the school board, the school board meeting?
This county?
Yeah, the county, I do know the county is having another tax increase. And yes, Delaware County, yes.
That was raised 23%, right?
Yes, and
Okay, well, what's the 19%? You saying that's the school board?
that's Delaware County.
To my understanding, that's the county as well. So they've exceeded a 50% increase over the past 3 years combined. Again, not under the purview of this council, but certainly unfortunate news for many folks.
So it's not 19% Sharon Hill raising their taxes, it's the county doing it.
Correct. It's not a borough tax, it's the county's taxes that have increased.
Okay, because I know people that I work with looked at their taxes and they weren't going up as high. You know, Sharon Hill, they had 2025 and 2026, and mine was going up like 4,000 more. And the person from Collingdale, theirs weren't going up or went over that I could see. You know?
Mr. Solicitor, you can correct me if I'm wrong too, but it's also based on the assessment of your property. So for some properties, everyone had an opportunity to appeal the tax assessment, and this is not the borough tax assessment, this is the county tax assessment. Everyone had an opportunity to appeal that in order to get a more reasonable rate, if you will. If you did not appeal in a timely manner, then whatever the default assessed value of your property was, then that's what they based that's how you see the increase. So if your property was assessed higher than what it was in previous years, then that 20 or 19%, you'll see a significant.
That's it, but because it did go up, but I still shouldn't go up that high because it's only a 2-bedroom house.
It's the assessed value though. Is it a corner lot? How much square footage do we have around it? So a lot of those variables go into it's on one side it's a good thing when you get ready to sell, you have that higher assessed value, you'll probably get a higher appraisal value. But on the reverse, while you're still living there, any increases in taxes are going to be based on the assessed value of your home. And those assessments did go up significantly throughout the county.
Yeah, okay, I guess that's what it is. I thought it was Sharon Hill raising the taxes and not other regions, but it's.
We can take the conversation offline. We do want to respect the 3 minutes, so.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And also, before I have a thing about people. I work in the rectory at St. Joe's.
Can I just,
They
do this for the copy for you? I have one copy.
Yeah, okay.
Just for the copy. Thank you so much.
And I want to go back on record, making sure that I said this correctly. It is not the school board. It is not the school board at all. It actually is, will propose the county. And it hasn't been, I believe, completely confirmed yet, but has it been confirmed yet? Okay, well, then that's as far as I will speak on this, because, I'm trying to check out. So, yeah.
Councilor Fleming had a comment she wanted to share.
Two quick comments. I wonder if it
Ms. Doyle. Councilor Fleming had a comment she wanted to share with you.
Two quick comments, just making sure that you knew that even though it's not a lot, there is a discount for our seniors on their taxes, so we should make sure, that you get that, okay. The second comment is, I wonder if there's something we can do to help residents, because this isn't the first time. There are different taxes, and I think they think it's us. And there's the school board tax, there's the county tax, and ours, we did have a tax, but it was minimal compared to those. And I wonder if there's something we can do at the next meeting to really share those things.
Well, I think it's the fact that, like, people in Collingdale, see theirs going up so high. And calling Glen Oldie, the person in your city go up so high, so you think, well, that's the Sharon Hill, So I guess it's really, but maybe they didn't boost their check, so.
And the county does have an assessment appeal period, which is open right now if you want to have your assessed value reviewed, even though they gave us that period when they did the overall. And we can connect you with, we're talking county taxes, and so they have their own departments, but we have, our tax collector that can help. And as a perfect segue to what Councilor Fleming just proposed, our tax collector, Ms. Felicia Coleman, she's usually here, but she has asked to come forward mid-year to just share updates with the community as it regards tax collection and revenue that we're seeing so far, and any insights on opportunities for rebates on taxes that our community might be eligible for. So we're likely to have her come in at the June caucus. So if you want to come to that meeting or watch the meeting, or you can call at any time and she'll share information.
When the internet is really went up like 5,000 very high. Sharon Hill.
That's crazy.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Doyle. Okay, that was the last public comment. I'd like to just open the floor. Is there any additional public comment?
Can I just say one thing?
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say, when I started doing the fundraising for the firehouse, them guys from the Sunoco donate to us every single time, whatever we need. They always
Just so everybody know, instead of calling him the guy from Sunoco, his name is Matt.
I said Matt.
Matt. No, I'm just saying in general, because so we were like, oh, the guy from Sunoco. So, not you, but.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll be quick. For a solution, and maybe everybody's not in agreement, but I think most of our litter is coming from our children coming to and from school, because we have a very walkable community, and they're going to 7-Eleven or they're going to Wawa and going to school, because every day I have soda bottles, trash in front of my house. And my block, Hook Street, is a really clean block. Most of our houses are single homes. And I get out there and I clean every day, because most of the people work and I'm not working, I'm retired. So I'll get out there and clean. But most of the litter is from the kids traveling to and from school. And I have said many times, if we can connect it to school and they can have some kind of assembly
and trying to enforce in the kids, this is your community, love your community, and stop with the litter. And maybe we can have trash cans from the borough on some certain corners where the kids traveling to school and can dispose of that trash. Because when trash cans are left out on Tuesday and Friday when trash is picked up, I'll have trash in my trash can that's spilled milks, all kind of garbage, and I have to wash out my trash can. So if we can have trash can that has plastic where the kids can dispose of the trash, that would be really helpful. That's the solution. And then the other solution, as far as the firemen have now just sent out for donations. You know, I give every year to the donations, but I get annoyed when it takes them 3 months to clear a check. So they got to get better with that, because I actually had to go down to the fire department and ask them, please deposit the damn check. And that was 3 months. So
they can take as long as they want to deposit that check.
they need to so they need to get better at that.
Yes. I have before yours. A solution, instead of it being at the next caucus meeting, is there a way to have a workshop of some sort for the elderly or whatnot? Because for a caucus meeting, I don't think we would have enough time to be able to address or educate individuals about the tax situation. So could it be a workshop or something before the caucus? Because caucus is another meeting that we should be handling business matters versus, which this is important with taxes, but I think we would need more time to be able to, address that, Madam President.
Yeah, thank you for that. So she's gonna come and do the presentation, and the tax collectors do have office hours during tax season where they are here to answer questions that people can just walk in. But we can reiterate that, and I'll talk to the tax collector and our accounting firm about scheduling a time for a workshop, so that questions can be answered about the taxes and collection and anything that we have. Maybe we'll open it up to just getting some questions in advance so that they can be prepared with answers. I can take that back to them. Thank you for that suggestion.
And maybe even helping them to fill out whatever they need to fill out to get it sent in, to get whatever it is they need for that abatement, or not abatement, but whatever the term would be.
Homestead.
Yes, homestead, yes.
Yeah, I get that, yeah.
There's homestead, and then the borough, we did give a little bit of a discount to our seniors. So if you're a senior, make sure you're also getting that. As it is available to you. Thank you for that suggestion.
Are you talking about a tax-free pay?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, well, I filled out for that, and I haven't gotten that yet either, so I guess you get that next year.
No, you'll get that. We did start delaying because we were giving it to some people, and then their tax check was bouncing, and so we were a little bit out of money. So we did put a little waiting period on it.
I'm not talking about the little $35 tax.
Oh, that's the one. That's all we have.
I'm talking about the other tax rebate.
That's all we have.
The property tax rebate. For some reason,
Okay.
I guess because we fired everybody at the IRS, they're not taking a long time giving that out.
Mrs. Threadgill.
I'm not retired, it's 9:25. And I'm not retired, and I love coming to the meetings, I love the support and be a part of my community. If we can just be conscious of the time, because I would like to stay here to the end when we do the adjournment and say amen. But I just have to be at work at 6:45 in the morning. I'm trying to support, I'm trying to hang on. But I understand the 3-minute rule. I do understand the 3-minute rule, but we can just kind of figure out how we can be a little more efficient with the time so I can continue to come and support. Because I'm hanging on. I'm hanging on by a thread right now. It's been a long time.
Thank you very much for your comments. Are there any other public comments? Okay, hearing no other public comment, we'll move to our new business. As council, we need a motion to approve the field use agreement for Vision Academy Field Day. Councilor Smith and Hill. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the field use agreement for Vision Academy Field Day. Any discussion?
Yes. What exactly the title of too, as far as utilizing the field as a resource?
Sure. So this agreement is just a simple temporary one-day agreement, which identifies them as the user party, identifies the date, time frame, and type of specific event. It requires them to conduct a visual inspection of the facility, the field, prior to taking possession of it. It also indemnifies and limits the borough's liability for any incidents or losses. And then finally, it requires them as users to return the field to its pre-event condition. So it's really just a one-day contract. In fact, less than 1 day, just for the time frame needed from the first time they step on to the last time they step off.
Understood, thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay, hearing no other discussion, all in favor of approving the field use agreement for Vision Academy Field Day, please. Motion passes. Thank you, Council. Council, the next item is a motion to adopt the property maintenance ordinance updates. Is there a motion?
Second.
And Bradley. It's been moved and seconded that we adopt the property maintenance ordinance updates. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor of adopting the property maintenance ordinance updates, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passes, Council. Thank you. Council, we now need a motion to approve the Greenways, Trails, and Recreation Program Grant Application Resolution.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the Greenways, Trails, Recreation Program Grant Application Resolution. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passes. Thank you, Council. Council, we need an approval of the Military Appreciation Month proclamation.
So moved.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the Military Appreciation Month proclamation. Any discussion, or can we approve by unanimous consent? Unanimous consent. Thank you. And once again, thank you to all who serve and have served and all of your families. Council, we need a motion to approve the April Treasurer Report as presented, which details the general fund balance of $3 million. What is this number? Where did he go? Do you have a different number? It's a little short. Oh. I know I hear it.
It says 32.
That's the report from last month.
Yeah, I apologize.
Right.
I got it, Joy. It's in the top field is correct. The bottom field is missing a digit. Okay, $3,066,123.15 as of April 31st, 2026. Is there a motion?
Second.
We gotta figure that out.
It's in the April, it's in the caucus meeting packet. The treasurer report did not change, so it's in the caucus meeting packet from, previous week. If you need it, I'll make sure you get it.
Okay.
Actually, it's on your drive. If you go to your drive and open up the flash drive, and open up April, open up May caucus, you'll see it there.
Yeah, okay, so the motion had been moved and seconded.
Okay.
And Ms. Brown seconded. Yes, so let me offer some clarification. So while we moved to everything digital instead of the paper, instead of reprinting the whole report every month, since there are no changes to what we reviewed in caucus, it's still in your folder from last month, but we can work on how to make it just more present during this meeting time while we're looking at it and then moving to it. But it is the only updates included in the packet. The new packet will be the only things included in the new packet will be updates to what we shared out and discussed at caucus. we can work on making that easier for us to see it while we're talking to you there.
Right.
Thank you. So it's been any discussion on approving the treasurer's report as presented, which details the general fund balance at $3,066,123.15.
Just a correction in the 6, the 0 to the 6 value, which you identified and read out correctly.
Yes, thank you. Any other questions or discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor of approving the treasurer's report as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Okay, motion passes. Thank you, council. And I also need a motion to approve the series of bills and invoices totaling $172,910.23. This will include bills and invoices received after this public meeting, which must be paid before the next council meeting upon approval by the council. Is there a motion?
Second.
Smith and Hill. It's been moved and seconded that we approve this series of bills and invoices totaling $172,910.23. Any discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion. All in favor of approving our bills list, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Okay, motion passes. Thank you, council. And last, council, the meeting minutes for the April 16th legislative meeting is in your package. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Okay, hearing no corrections, minutes are approved as submitted. And very quickly, under old business, I have a couple of items. One is on traffic calming. We have been talking about this for a while now, and I just wanted to share an initiative that Sharon Hill Borough will be doing in partnership with the school district. So Delaware County Planning Department has what they call quick bills, so the Delaware County Planning Department, I'm just going to read this, received Safe Streets for All funding to complete quick bill projects at 4 schools, 2 in Southeast Delco School District and 2 in Chester Upland School District. Quick bills are low cost and temporary street improvements to calm traffic and beautify the street. So this is now in the works. Our engineer was part of our call with the planning department and members of the school district and our borough manager. The intersection that was chosen is at Coates and Calcon Hook at the corner of Sharon Hill School, between the field and the school. And so it's not scheduled till the fall. They'll be doing street studies over the from now through the summer, and then in the fall we'll proceed to do the quick bill. So you'll hear more about it, but as we have been talking about traffic calming and wanting to make our streets safer for pedestrians, this is one additional effort you'll hear more about. The other thing I wanted to share about was the land bank. So we voted a couple of meetings ago to join the Delaware County Land Bank. The school board actually also joined because we cannot move on any properties in terms of taking them off of the judicial sales list without the school board being a partner. So the school board did approve. They are joining the land bank, and we had 2 properties that we approved that we wanted them to remove. One of them, the one on Coate Street, was removed from the judicial sale list prior to yesterday's date, or 2 days ago, because the owners made a payment on their taxes. So that removed them from the list. The property on Laurel Road for Coate Street, it removed them from the list that put them up for judicial sale. And we were not eligible to then have any part of that property because they paid part of the taxes. For Laurel, it was removed for the borough of Sharon Hill. So that property then will have further discussion on what to do with it. It did call, the planning department called to confirm that there were no people living there. As they shared when they came there, they're not at all interested in displacing people. It was easy to say no one lives there because there's no house there. It's a plot of overgrown grass and weeds and trees. And so that one was removed from the judicial sale. We'll begin talking about what it looks like. And that would be a conversation, and I should have said this when I was talking about Quickville, conversations with the immediate neighbors that are impacted by the areas. So more to come on that, but I just wanted to give that update on the land bank and the 2 properties. Any questions for me on those things? Is there anything else, council?
Madam President, I have 2 items I wanted to cover quickly. I was not here last month, so I wanted to give an update on the Sharon Hill Public Health Community Committee. After the April meeting, following the April, the March meeting where we did the visioning, in April we reconvened and began transitioning from visioning to action. As a result, we organized the work. Participants identified 3 primary planning areas: vendors and services for our health fair, logistics and operation, and outreach and sponsorships. I'd like to thank some of the members of the audience, Mr. Threadgill, Tracy, Sandra. There's about 15 residents who are serving on those 3 committees. We had some great work done. More to come on that. We have identified August 29th as the date, and some work has already happened with the committees for the health fair. The second thing I wanted to report on is I think broadly about public health and wellness, about physical activity, but sometimes we don't think about mental activity. I just want to really thank the mayor, first of all, for his support for the Sharon Hill first cohort of our sewing club. It has been meeting for about 6 weeks on Wednesdays at 6. Last week I made my first pillow. Yes, I did. And we will be having a second cohort, but right now the mayor has been really teaching us everything we need to know. Folks are making skirts. That is going really well. And just wanted to say kudos to the few people who have come out every week to that. And we will be having a second cohort and really relaxing and sewing and making things. And then third, one final thing, one recommendation in terms of the meeting length, just clarification on our caucus. A lot of discussion should be happening. I wonder if we can cut a lot of the stuff that we're repeating in caucus and in legislative and come here and make this a short meeting to really just take care of business. It's just an idea, maybe just we're repeating a lot. We get a lot of repeated papers and repeated presentation, and they're recorded already. So if people want to know what happened at the caucus, they can go back. Maybe this could be the short meeting.
Thank you, Dr. Fleming. That is by definition what caucus and legislative is, what she just described, and that is the goal. And Joy, in an effort to help us get closer to that goal, took out the content that we already spoke on the meeting before, and like we just shared only updates, which is why you heard some of the councilors say no report, because they didn't have updates to the reports that they shared. So what Dr. Fleming described is the goal, and is actually by definition the intention of our meetings. We got to work on it. I think we keep, we're putting in measures, we'll keep working on it. And we go through these ebbs and flows. Like we go through some times where we are able to do the 1.5 hour meeting, and then we go through some times where we have longer meetings, more things going on. But I appreciate that. And yeah, that's the target. Anything else, council?
Yeah, I got 3 super quick things. First, Block Captain's virtual sync is on. The next one is May 26th, 5:30 to 6. After that, of course, Sewing Club is being extended. Someone reached out to me, and Councilwoman Fleming mentioned. The next meeting is May 27th from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And lastly, I want to say a special shout out to my dear little Lily. She's making me proud, Papa. And I know she hopefully isn't seeing this right now because she's out there having fun, but I just want to make sure that I publicly embarrass her with all the love I have. That I always try to do that every time I see her. So, love you, kiddo. I hope you're having fun at your prom. That's all.
It's girl dad stuff. Congratulations on your beautiful daughter and her prom. She is amazing. Anything else, counselors?
My daughter, Diamond White, is Miss Sharon Hill, running for Miss Pennsylvania. She has a great shot. June 14th is the statewide pageant, so wish her luck.
Keep us posted.
If anybody want to take out any ads.
Yes.
Can you mount the ads?
Yeah, so we have, actually it's over, but you can still sponsor her when she goes to Vegas
Right.
for national.
The homeless resource guide and the other Delaware County coordinated entry system information page.
Is it? Let it out.
I'm sorry. Both of I made copies. They're in the back, and we'll get this on the website also.
All right, for the sake of our dear borough manager, if there's no further business for this evening, we can call this meeting adjourned at 9:42 p.m. Thank you all.